From the All Indiana Podcast Network.
The All Indiana Podcast Network.
This is the News 8 Daily 8.
Now all the latest news.
Kylie Conway has all the news you need to know.
And more.
Please stand by.
This episode of News 8 Daily 8 is presented by Downtown Indy.
Now, here's Wish TV's Kylie Conway.
Hi, this is Kylie Conway, and this is the News 8 Daily 8 for Friday, December 18th. Here's Randy Ellis with a look at the day's forecast.
Pretty nice Friday out there. If you got to finish your Christmas shopping or start your Christmas shopping, 8 o'clock, partly cloudy, 21. Noon, 33. By 5 o'clock, mixed cloud and the sun. Temperature at 38 degrees. Chicago high 37, 36 South Bend, 43 down around Louisville, 46 in Evansville. Here in the city, forecast high 38. That is normal. The record today is 65. And boy, that goes way back, even before me here. That was set at 1877. Doesn't go back much farther than that.
All right, Randy, thank you. And now to coronavirus vaccines. Today, nearly every major hospital group in Indianapolis will begin its administering. Eskenazi and Franciscan Health say they'll begin vaccinations today. Community Health Networks says that it did a trial run yesterday and will begin vaccination clinics today at Community Hospital North. IU Health will now be in its third day of vaccinations, and the first group of Ascension St. Vincent employees got the shots yesterday. Ascension says almost 800 more will be vaccinated today. At Franciscan, 216 people are registered to get the vaccine today. The clinic plans to vaccinate 3 people every 10 minutes. Their plan is to break the vaccination process into 3 parts. First, frontline staff who are actively involved with caring for COVID-19 patients have the chance to get vaccinated. That includes critical caregivers in nursing homes, assisted living facilities, and another Southside area hospital will be scheduled to receive the vaccine as well. Second, all professionally licensed workers who interact with patients. Those workers will begin receiving the vaccine in late December. And a third phase begins in early 2021. That's when all licensed and non-licensed workers who may not interact directly with patients will get vaccinated.
This initial couple rounds of the vaccine won't establish, community-wide herd immunity or nationwide herd immunity. But over the next 3 to 4 months, as the supply continues to come in and we expand who can get it, there's absolutely a lot of optimism, and it really uplifts our spirits at a time when we're all, pretty much under the heaviest burden we've been under as far as caring for sick COVID patients.
Those who choose to get vaccinated will receive a second shot 21 days after the first dose. Franciscan Health here in Indianapolis plans to receive about 3,000 doses of the vaccine over the next 2 weeks. It is possible they'll receive more based on the use rate. The clinic will be open 7 days a week from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. Indiana and at least 12 other states have been told to expect far fewer doses of the Pfizer vaccine next week. Senior Trump administration officials say there would be no delays, citing confusion over semantics. Pfizer says its production levels haven't changed. Missouri and Iowa health officials say they'll get up to 30% less of the vaccine, though. California officials say they're expecting up to 40% reduction. Indiana's numbers haven't been announced. Vice President Mike Pence will receive the coronavirus vaccine this morning. His office announced the vaccination will take place at 8 o'clock this morning at the White House. So if you're listening to this after 8 o'clock, he's probably already gotten that shot. The Indiana native will be the first high-profile politician to receive that vaccine. Second Lady Karen Pence and Surgeon General Jerome Adams will also get the vaccine this morning. And by the end of the day today, we may have a second FDA-authorized vaccine for use in the United States. The vaccine from Moderna was approved by an advisory panel last night in a vote of 20-0, a major accomplishment for Moderna and brings millions more vaccine doses to the market. But there are a few differences between it and Pfizer's version. One is age. Moderna's would only be recommended for those 18 and up compared to 16 and up for Pfizer. Testing in younger children is set to begin next year. Both vaccines require 2 doses, but at different days apart. Moderna's vaccine doesn't need to be in a deep freezer like Pfizer's, but both do still use the same mechanism to work, mRNA, to teach your body to fight the virus. We expect that emergency use authorization sometime today. The FDA commissioner used the word rapid to describe today's process. Once that happens, Moderna says it has 6 million doses to ship out. And as far as who is next in line for the vaccine, the FDA says a panel of vaccination experts should issue a recommendation for stage 2 of distribution, especially now that they have so many more doses to work with. Regardless of what they decide, the states make the final call. The panelists are leaning toward putting essential workers first, but who that is up for debate. Other experts say people 65 and older should be next since they're dying at the highest rates. CDC Director Dr. Robert Redfield has said he prioritizes those 70 and up who live with children. Some states have already decided. Nevada is prioritizing teachers and childcare staff, then public transport workers. Arkansas highlights teachers, prison guards, and police officers. Indiana's plan hasn't been updated since October, but it does list those 65 and older and those with dangerous medical conditions. The panel should vote on the recommendations Sunday. And the coronavirus does top Governor Holcomb's 2021 legislative agenda.
Managing through the surge and safely accelerating out of this pandemic will remain priority number one. Our response and recovery efforts are all geared toward protecting lives and livelihoods.
The governor laid out his priorities yesterday, focusing on 5 pillars: public health, the economy, education, training, and workforce development, delivering great government service and infrastructure. Holcomb says he wants to take care of the roads we already have and finish work that's underway. His agenda calls for finishing the final 26-mile stretch of I-69 between Martinsville to Indianapolis. He's also urging improvements on major roads to the north.
And making progress on a Indy to South Bend cruise control US 31 and major corridor improvements on US 30. We're full speed ahead on building out 2 of America's biggest public transit rail projects.
To see Governor Holcomb's agenda and the response to it, all you got to do is go to our website, wishtv.com, and look under the Indiana tab. And now we head to Washington, where legislators are getting closer to a COVID-19 relief package.
We're going to stay right here, until we're finished, even if that means working through the weekend, which is highly likely.
That was Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell there. It is crunch time on Capitol Hill. The central elements seem to be in place. $300 billion in aid to businesses, a $300 per week bonus in jobless benefits, and $600 direct payments to individuals. But the sticking points seem to be the same. Some Republicans think the price tag is too high. Some Democrats want larger stimulus checks. Both parties agree on the urgency of needing to pass a bill.
We have a responsibility to get this right. People's lives depend upon it.
I believe all sides are working in good faith toward a shared goal of getting an outcome.
Lawmakers must also vote on a temporary funding bill to avoid a government shutdown at midnight tonight. President-elect Joe Biden is making a historic pick for Interior Secretary. Biden selecting New Mexico Representative Deb Haaland. If confirmed by the Senate, she would be the first Native American to lead the agency that has influence over tribal nations. Haaland became one of the first 2 Native American women to serve in Congress in 2018. The United States is being struck with a major computer hack. John Lawrence reports cybersecurity experts say the data breaches are spreading wider than previously thought.
The U.S. government reeling from a major hacking campaign.
This is a fundamentally different attack than anything we've seen in the cybersphere to date.
The Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Agency, a branch of the Department of Homeland Security, suspects Russian hackers are breaking into government agencies, private companies, and other entities.
Certainly the level of national and economic security damage could be immense.
Former FBI Deputy Director Andrew McCabe says the hackers broke into SolarWinds Orion software and corrupted the updates the IT management firm delivers to organizations.
That was really the genius of this attack. It was a way to get into virtually everywhere in a product that was widely used.
Microsoft says more than 40 of its customers were targeted in this breach, with most of them in the U.S. The hack extends beyond the problematic software, and its full extent is not yet known, federal experts warn.
A cyber hack of this nature is really the modern equivalent of almost of Russian bombers reportedly flying undetected over the entire country.
This is virtually a declaration of war by Russia on the United States, and we should take that seriously.
Microsoft says 80% of the hacking victims are U.S.-based. Among the other countries also affected, Canada, the United Kingdom, Mexico, and Spain. I'm John Lawrence reporting.
And back here in central Indiana, police are looking into what led up to a murder-suicide in Noblesville. It happened yesterday afternoon at a home on Plains Road. That's near 161st Street and Hazeldale Road. Noblesville police say they arrived to find husband and wife Kristen and Renee Tamalia Each had been shot at least one time, and both died at Indianapolis hospitals. And we do have some business headlines for you this morning. JCPenney will close more stores in the spring after already closing 150 plus stores since filing for bankruptcy. None of the stores are in Indiana. The retailer emerged from bankruptcy this month after being acquired by mall owners, Indianapolis-based Simon Property Group, and Brookfield Asset Management. An estimated 6 million packages a day are being left stranded, sitting idle in retailers' warehouses or shipping centers and awaiting pickup by FedEx, UPS, Amazon, USPS, and other shippers. That's according to estimates from ShipMatrix, a software company that helps retailers track shipments. Another 2.5 million packages are being picked up daily, but are not reaching their destinations on time. As the coronavirus pandemic drags on, landlords are suffering. An estimated 9 million renters who've lost income during the pandemic are behind on rent. That's according to an analysis of census data by the Center on Budget and Policy Priorities. A national ban on evictions put in place by the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention to stop the spread of the virus has meant many landlords must continue to pay to maintain and finance their properties. Moderna's stock jumped as the FDA is expected to approve its COVID vaccine today. The vaccine will get emergency use authorization, which means the data is strong enough and the situation dire enough that people can start to get it while data is still being evaluated. Moderna stock has gone from about $18 a share to $144 yesterday. There is now a smart sweater that blares a siren every time someone gets within 6 feet of its wearer. Local security firm Simply Safe is behind the tech-enabled garment, which it calls the social distancing sweater. It has motion sensors, and the sweater sounds an alarm whenever someone crosses the 6-foot social distance threshold outlined by the U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. It also flashes lights in festive colors, all against a knit backdrop of patterned snowflakes and padlocks. To the Pacers now, the Blue and Gold will host their first game inside Bankers Life Fieldhouse since the pandemic began. The game's tonight. The team will play its last preseason game against the 76ers. The Pacers lost their first two against the Cavaliers. Star guard Victor Oladipo says they're just getting into the rhythm of things.
We just got to stay patient, continue to keep working hard, and I feel like everything else will take care of itself. But for the most part, I think defensively we've been really good. We just got to keep building on that.
The last time the Pacers played the 76ers, they won 127-121. For the Colts, a win this weekend would put the team in a great position to make the playoffs. T.Y. Hilton credits a lot of the season to quarterback Phillip Rivers. Number 17 has been solid the past few weeks with back-to-back games of almost 300 yards and 0 interceptions. Hilton says Rivers is pretty special.
He's just competitive, man. You know, he's just a lot of heart. He brings it each and every day. You know, we feed off his energy, and, you know, that's what you need at the quarterback position. And, you know, he's doing a tremendous job getting guys lined up. You know, he's seen a bunch of defenses, so he's making it pretty much easy for the rest of us.
Kickoff against the Texans is 1 o'clock Sunday, and later Sunday night after the game, remember to tune in to Sports Locker Sunday. Our Colts player analyst Darius Leonard will be with the sports team at 10:15. And tickets do go on sale this morning for the final home game of the regular season. Capacity is capped at 10,000 for the January 3rd game against the Jaguars. Tickets go on sale at 10:30 in pods to keep distance between groups of fans. 10,000 is also the limit for this weekend's game against the Texans. And as of right now, there are still plenty of seats available for Sunday. And our Zone Extra Athlete of the Week knows what it's like to embrace the big moments. She's starting her senior basketball season already as state champ and as one of the state's top players. Olivia Ray shows us why you want Jayla Smith to have the ball with the game on the line.
Basically, it was 40-40, you know, get in front of something, but it was really like an isolation with me at the top of the key and dragged the ball out, the outside three-point line, sort of took 3 dribbles back and just fired it. Sort of knew it was going in.
Smith, step back, 3, got it!
Game-winning heroics don't even faze Jayla Smith anymore. The Purdue commit and frontrunner for Miss Indiana basketball has already led Lawrence North to 2 consecutive trips to state. And early in her senior season, she's responsible for the Wildcats' biggest win of the year.
She has always had that kind of innate, uncanny ability to seize the moment, and pressure doesn't seem to bother her.
Yeah, I like to win, so biggest goal is to be back in that state final championship with my teammates this year. You know, last year was sort of different with them, some of the seniors that we lost. They're very good, but we still have the same talent. We still have a lot of talent on this team where I think we can make it back to finals. Just taking it game by game, being patient.
Patience is the secret ingredient to Smith constantly coming in clutch for her teams, and it's a recipe that she copied from some of the best.
First, you got to start off with Kobe, but then I also look at Tamika Catching. I watched her growing up, especially in the WNBA, wanting to follow her and be in the WNBA like she is and be the greatest player that she was.
She's always, from the time she was a freshman onward, has been willing to take and make, big shots. She'll give the ball up, but on those big moments, she wants to take the shot.
Make it, take it. Smith is on pace to become her school's all-time leading scorer before she heads to West Lafayette next fall. Olivia Ray, Wish TV, wishtv.com, and follow us on Facebook.
Pretty impressive young lady there. Thank you, Olivia. This has been your News 8 Daily 8 for Wish TV. I'm Kylie Conway. Online at wishtv.com and follow us on Facebook when you search Wish TV. Have a great weekend, everybody.
This episode of News 8 Daily 8 is presented by Downtown Indy.
Check out more podcasts from the All Indiana Podcast Network now at allindianapodcastnetwork.com.
allindianapodcastnetwork.com.